We're in Rotterdam, and today we are going to take the train to The Hague. It's best known, of course, as being the location for the International Criminal Court, so we're going to go explore that and the rest of it. Arrived at the train station in The Hague, and it was really windy in Rotterdam, and the sun has come out, so this is perfect for us to go out and explore.
So it turns out it actually is quite windy out still, but it's fine. It's not going to cramp our style.
No. We've just arrived at this museum called Mauritshuis, and there is a collection here of paintings by all the Dutch masters, including one painting in particular that I think you will definitely recognize.
We just saw one of Rembrandt's most famous paintings called The Anatomy Lesson from 1632. I didn't realize it was here in The Hague, but I can remember being like 5 years old at school and sitting in a circle at art class and learning about that painting. I didn't realize that Rembrandt was only 25 years old when he was asked to paint it. It's just so cool to see it in person and bigger than I imagined it would be. One particular painting that we're looking for. I think she's in the next room. There she is.
I had no idea that when you came to The Hague, you could see the girl with the pearl earring.
Yeah, if you don't know this painting, it's from 1665. It's Johannes Vermeer's most famous painting.
Hands down.
And seeing it in real life now, I didn't realize that her eyes kind of follow you like the Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And she has this expression on her face also like the Mona Lisa that's just kind of inscrutable, and you feel that she's looking at you very pointedly saying something, but you don't know what she's saying. At least that's the feeling that I had, and as I was walking back and forth across the room, her eyes definitely felt as though they were following me, which is just the weirdest sensation that this painting from the 1600s
Quit looking at me.
is trying to tell you something, staring at you.
Yeah.
We all have that feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So seeing the girl with the pearl earring was fantastic.
So if you come to The Hague, don't miss that, because that is so cool to see.
Next, we're going to a museum with art of a completely different kind.
Yeah, I'd say.
Of MC Escher. You've probably seen his drawings of...
Staircases.
Yeah, they look mathematically impossible, his depictions of these crazy scenes. And we're going to this museum that's all dedicated to his art. So I'm excited to see it.
Me too. It's called Escher in Het Palais.
I didn't really know what to expect, but they had a lot of his art, and you could kind of see the progression of his graphic design, which was really interesting. And then the building itself is apparently the former winter palace of Queen Mother Emma of the Netherlands.
That was another little bonus there.
Yeah, there's a lot of history just with the building itself, which was neat to see.
And it was cool for me because as a kid I loved MC Escher. His drawings just were so mind-bending. I couldn't grasp them.
Yeah, kaleidoscopic in a way when you're looking at them.
Yeah.
I also think it was neat just to see those two galleries with such different kinds of art in them back to back.
Totally.
Yeah, and so now we are going to see the International Criminal Court. The sun is coming out. It's not as windy, so hopefully this will hold. Crazy little frog.
Another thing we didn't expect to find in The Hague.
He's so cute. Of course, I didn't think we could visit The Hague without coming to the International Criminal Court. This is a place where individuals who have been charged with the most serious and gravest of all crimes that affect the international community, crimes of genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, they are tried here. We've just come out out after visiting the ICC, and we both got visitors passes, went through security. Obviously the security here is very high, and there weren't any sessions on right now while we were here, but they do have public galleries where you can actually go, and if it's an open session you can hear and see the trial as it's going on. So unfortunately we didn't get to see that, but if you're here in another time, check the calendar ahead, because that's something that you could see, which would be really, really interesting. We got to check in and see the building, and then there's an exhibition about the history of the International Criminal Court, why it exists, since when, what it does, who it's funded by, who it serves, all of those kinds of things. So I thought this was super worthwhile to come
Definitely
see.
worth the stop.
I couldn't personally have come to The Hague without visiting the ICC, so this was time very well spent, and I feel like we learned a lot.
We're at the pier! We keep hearing from people that the pier is really nice in The Hague, so we felt like we had to check it out.
Yeah, I never associated this with the beach.
No.
I mean, I always thought of the International Criminal Court. And
Not the beach.
Everyone in the Netherlands says, oh yeah, The Hague, it's this lovely beach town.
Yeah.
Seaside resort.
Not what we think of.
It's chilly today, but it's still really pretty, and there's birds, and this is a really nice way to top off the day.
Didn't even cross my mind any day could ever be this fine. There couldn't be a better time. All that I can see is sunshine.
It's dinner time.
We've made our way back downtown from the beach area, and we got this restaurant recommended to us called Jamie Bennett, so we're gonna head in there and get some food.
That was an absolutely incredible dinner at Jamie Bennett.
Yeah, I feel like we had been out in the cold all day, and it was so nice to just have this really long, cozy meal.
Yeah.
They had a fire inside, and the lights were dim, and the whole idea is that you share plates. So we got to share all of our little things that we ordered, and finish it off with an amazing dessert and a cup of coffee, which was again so cozy. I think that's what we were craving. So.
I think we decided that our favorites were, well, for me, the ceviche.
That was really good.
That was so good.
Yeah,
and
but the salmon sashimi was my
you
favorite.
love the sashimi, yeah.
Yeah, and the dessert, which was cheese and nut bread with this apple syrup, which was delicious.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, everything was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But if we had to pick favorites.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I would pick.
Yeah.
It was a really nice way to end what turned out to be a really, for me, surprising day in The Hague,
Yeah.
because I feel like before we came, my main idea about what The Hague was the International Criminal Court.
Yes.
Because in my head, the two are inseparable.
The same.
And then it was just nice to discover that, of course, there's so much more there. The
Yeah.
beach, I had no idea it was known as this beach town. I had no idea that those Dutch masters' paintings were there, especially the girl with the pearl earring, which I think is arguably maybe the most famous Dutch painting in the world.
I would argue that it's one of the most famous paintings in the world.
And then that famous Rembrandt painting. So the whole day was just nice surprise after nice surprise after nice surprise.
Yep.
So it was nice to end with that cozy dinner, and yeah, I don't think I'll forget it.
And for me, I loved seeing the MC Escher artwork, because as a kid, I just absolutely loved his art. It just boggled my mind to look at, and so to see it in person was really neat.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that too. Maybe there are surprises for you as well. Leave a comment if something did take you by surprise.
Yeah.
Can I say surprise any more times?
No.
I don't think so. Okay. But if you haven't already, then please subscribe to our channel for more travel videos, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye.
Every